Okay, so this is the focus of this video update. I managed to finish off my weed spraying car. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of an overhaul, a bit of a run view of what I've done. I only really have the weed spraying car done. I don't have the other parts of it completed yet, such as the box car in front that you saw is not really hooked up, and the tank cars are just kind of placed there, but it does have, I'll just show you anyway, gotta undo it here. The idea, I was going to use magnets actually to attach the hoses between the cars. Not sure if I'm going to do that, or I may just actually just rest them in place. So they just kind of attach like that. Anyway, I'll go over it. So what it is it's an 89-foot Walthers flat car, and it used to have the, I guess the what do you call it, the fifth wheels for the trailers, the two 45-foot trailers. And what was left over after you take those out were a bunch of holes and just some divots, I guess, in the top deck. So I just filled those in with some of that Tamiya putty, and then obviously weathered the deck, and it took away that the two, I guess they'd be like wheel guides, the rubber wheel guides that went the length of the car on the top. So after that, I had to, so the prototype here is NDYX 82. You guys can look that up on Railroad Picture Archives if you're interested. The next thing I did add was this extra piece along both sides with weld plates all the way down both sides, and then these are new as well, so this isn't part of the 89-foot flat. So that's just made out of a bunch of C-channel and I-beams glued vertically. Anyway, obviously shipping container and another shipping container. So these are high cubes. These are 20-footer and a 40-footer. I could not for the life of me get two that matched, so I ended up having to cut this. The 20-footer was actually a 40-footer, and I cut the end off and re-glued it on just to make a 20-footer. I just couldn't, in my whole junk box, I couldn't find one, so had to do that. The diesel tank at the end is just a piece of plastic roll from a receipt machine, like when you buy stuff from the store, those receipt rolls. It's the black core of that, obviously with some flat styrene glued to either side to make it a tank. Obviously I painted it. It was TTX yellow, now it's blue, and I weathered the bottom. Still got a little bit of weathering done. The only thing I do not have that's on the prototype is the RV style air conditioners. There's two of them, one here and one here, and probably a little bit of I think there's some lighting on the front roof is the only thing I'm missing, spotlights and stuff like that, which I could put on. Anyway, the shipping containers were obviously cut to put the doors and windows in. The windows were from a Pike Stuff kit, and so were the doors, I think. This door, I just used a piece of fine mesh, metal mesh. Let's see, that's the diesel generator in there. This is all kind of my imagination. I imagine that there's a diesel generator in here creating electricity to run the pump, which is the black thing tucked in there. I don't even can see it. There's another thing back there. That's the pump, hence the pipes coming out of there. I figured all this stuff was inside the 20-foot container, so it didn't bother anybody sitting inside the front 40-foot container. So I guess this is probably a lounge and an office and whatever else out front, crew accommodation, and then the back is the business side of things where everything happens inside. See if I can get a flashlight going here. No, can't do that. Anyway, if you can see in there, that's my diesel generator, and behind that is the pump. I did the floors. Inside. You can see those, and scratch built all the door openings and everything. These are roll down doors at the back. They keep them open, I think, just so the diesel generator has somewhere to breathe. All of the hoses at the back here are done with 0.8 millimeter shrink tubing, heat shrink, and 1.1 millimeter heat shrink. And then there's a piece of wire attached to the diesel tank to run diesel fuel into the generator. What else is back here? Yeah, just some rods in. I did see this, I think, on Dan's Railroad, where he used a piece of wire to make the hoses. I can't remember what they're called now. Anyway, the air hoses, tree-line hoses. These hoses are left long on purpose. They have to run the length of the next tank car at the back. So I guess they pump either water or the actual weed spraying solution, the herbicide, out of the tanker, and it goes through the pump, and then it makes its way up to the front of the car on this side, actually. So it comes out of the pump and runs to the front, and then it goes through some kind of valve system on the front. So scratch built all that. I guess, yeah, we'll show you that the booms actually do come out. That's kind of a trick there. So they were done, I don't even know if I can show you this, but those pistons actually, the horizontal pistons on the deck here, they actually work. So that's a piece of styrene drilled out, and then a piece of thin wire shoved up the hole, and basically that makes this thing mobile. Very delicate, but anyway, that was a bit of a trick getting that glued in the right place. And then there's a hinge underneath these aluminum caps here. So that hinge is where the piston pivots when the arm comes out. See if I can show you that. It's pretty delicate. But yeah, pretty cool, it works. And then I've got the hydraulic hoses coming from the, I guess this would be the equivalent to the manifold here, that white thing. So the driver would be pressing buttons to move the boom in and out, and then hydraulic fluid would be going into the pistons, pushing them in and out, or up and down. The up and down one is actually stationary. I fixed that one in place, but the horizontal one does work, obviously. The air compressor tank, I guess there should be a line coming from that, but I haven't put that on yet. And then the cab, so the windows actually open, and there's a figure in there. It's just an Atlas figure that I painted up with the fluoro vest and the reflective striping. So he's got his little, this is the safety striping that I just cut a small piece off of. I can't even get a good view of him, but he's all dressed up officially. And that's his computer control, his blue screen of death. He needs to reboot. Anyway, so that's his control panel. He has a good view of everything. And I'll show you this side. Oh yeah, just a bit on the stairs here. So there's a ladder there, and there's some grab irons on the door and a little door handle. GPS unit on the roof, hooked up to the wires. And oh yeah, this is the hose. So this is what I'm going to magnetize, I think. So this again is heat shrink, but there's nothing inside it. So I took the lighter and just shrank it down. I'm going to put a piece of metal on the end of this thing, and then I'm going to put a really powerful magnet inside the boxcar, and then it'll just snap on. Hopefully it'll hold around all the corners. So some of the detail here I'll show you. Yeah, so those are the couplings for the hosing, and I guess they use insulated piping for this front part. I don't know why. I guess I don't imagine they do any weed spraying in the wintertime, but you never know. And then, oh yeah, sorry, these are the nozzles here too. So these nozzles spray underneath the car and just immediately to the side of the car, and the boom is to get the tracks immediately adjacent on either side. So if you want to do 3 tracks at once, you can, as far as spraying goes. Above this window here is the rollo door that protects the glass from being shattered by vandals. Thought that was pretty cool to put on there, a little feature. Here's the other door. This one just has a simple ladder and then some handles. You can see the handles there. Those are just fine 0.3 wire, 0.3 mil wire. And the chain that goes over the door is actually just simple thread painted silver. So it's got enough texture there that it actually looks like chain to the untrained eye, especially at the 3-foot distance. And yeah, there's the diesel tank all detailed up. So I think that's it. That is my weed spraying car, and I hope to have it. The plan is to actually have it hooked up to my track cleaning car, and so this will be the one where all the herbicide is stored, I guess. And so basically my weed spraying car will be my track cleaning car. So when I run my weed sprayer, I'm pretending to kill the weeds, but I'm also cleaning the rails. So that's my plan. And yeah, anyway, I'll show you a full kit when I get it done. I gotta get some nasty tank cars and another nasty box car, I guess, because these guys aren't using brand new kit to run these things. Anyway, I should post a link to the video where I got this from. It was from a CP trackage in the United States. Anyway, I'll try and dig that up and put it on there so you guys can see the real life example. Okay, take care. Have a good weekend.